them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. We got some topics for you today. We explored our horizons. We played different games. I'm proud of us. We did some stuff this week. And yeah, we're here to talk about it, here to discuss a few things and get y'all, I guess, week started, because hopefully this come out by Monday. But yeah, that's without further ado. Oh yeah, I forgot I got music now. Y'all got to get used to my music. So hold on, let me put my 30-second music in there real quick. Yeah, get y'all live real quick. Hold on. Yeah, they don't hear that. Y'all can't hear it, but they can hear it. Oh, it's about to get loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. Oh, I gotta do it. Edited version. You know, we gotta keep it family friendly around here. But y'all know what time it is. I gotta figure out how to get y'all to listen to this. Because it just feel like I'm doing nothing on this side. I'm doing plenty.
In the process, trying to tippy-toe through the progress. Tongue-tied when the truth is an object. What's the pros
and I gotta figure out that fade. That fade, that's the real ticker, is that fade out. But yeah. I want to thank you guys for coming in and joining us on today's episode. But before we get started, as usual, on these topics, Jalen, Josh, tell the people what y'all been up to this last week, how y'all been feeling, what y'all been playing, and yeah. Well, whoever want to start first.
Had a pretty good week. I actually got my boys on the game at the same time. Jalen ain't been hitting every city in the U.S. this week. He had some time at home, so we got that Game Pass turned on.
Game Pass
downloaded in a decent amount of time. I don't know what's going on with that internet. It's on hyperdrive for Jalen this time.
Yeah, you know, I used to get that 45.
I remember the days.
That 45 megabytes per second.
I remember them days where it take like 3 days to download the Destiny update. Like
he said, "Man, I'm not doing none of this. I got the bandwidth for what I needed." I was like, "Man, all right, you right. You gotta take 4 or 5 business days for that."
You know, Instagram, watching all the reels, wasting that bandwidth,
sucking up all the juice. Yeah,
some dark times.
Yeah,
but no, I'm surprised we actually played a lot more games. Even when y'all went on, I ended up trying a couple other games, which is outside of my normal activities, because I feel like I've been getting in a routine with my games. But yeah.
You got that? You got that fan on, Josh? I can hear.
Oh yeah, I can cut that down. It's getting warm out here. It was like 75 yesterday.
Right
now it's a little colder because it's nighttime, but I don't need the heat.
Gotcha. Interesting. But yeah, so what you been playing? I mean, outside of the ones we've been playing, because I don't know. I know you played that.
So yeah, today I've been playing a lot. Well, last few days I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 2041, just because they had the update and I wanted to like actually see what this game is about. We tried it that one day, a couple months ago, but now I can actually see. It's pretty fun. It still has the same Battlefield issues, like it's, you know, team based and you should be playing with friends. But if you just want like a mindless like shooter to play, it's pretty fun. Because I guess my issue is I've been looking for a military shooter to play, and like I don't want to play nothing like Tarkov, and Warzone 2 just wasn't hitting for whatever reason. So I guess this is the one, and it's pretty fun. Like the gunplay is better than in my opinion, the gunplay feels better than other Battlefield games because I feel like Call of Duty always had the better guns, but Battlefield had almost all this other stuff going on. But now they're pretty similar in both.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, yeah. Hopped in on Halo. Me and you played a bit, but I played a lot more today just to like finish my like battle pass stuff. Not the battle pass, but like the event. We'll talk about it a bit more, but yeah, Halo's Infinite is still fun, but it's got a lot of issues that I think it's just the free to play stuff that's like they're trying to slow down progression. It's kind of like making it feel worse than it should. What else did I cut on this week? Fortnite, of course. Fortnite dropped a new update. Got a lot of cool stuff. And I don't know if we want to get into those updates yet. I feel like those are the bigger ones. I guess just like Battlefield. I played a bit of Guilty Gear. But I wasn't trying to like get good or anything. I was just going through like the explanation of like the modes. Because I don't understand that game. I know we talked about it a bit. Like Dragon Ball Z was much more simple with like its mechanics and stuff. But even like going through all the tutorials, this is just a weird fighting game. And I don't know. I guess it's not for me. Like I like Street Fighter, and I feel like that's my limit of trying to understand mechanics. But Street Fighter is not that complicated compared to Guilty Gear.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna go to myself, and then we can talk. Jaylen can have his conversation. But I think the games we've been playing are good. We was playing, I think, Guilty Gear. We was playing, played a little bit of Gang Beasts. We played that Halo, and I think we tried out like Power Rangers or something like that before we realized Guilty Gear dropped. I was like, oh shoot, and we played Wulong Fallen Dynasty, and that one was interesting to say the least. But we played actually a lot of different games over this last week, just trying stuff out and enjoying it in that way. But yeah, it kind of already knew that we were going to play Wulong for sure, but I didn't know about the other one, so it was good. Now, the games I've been playing on my own outside of that was Hogwarts. I still ain't cut on Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I want to. I played Final Fantasy 13, just because I was trying to proof of concept that if I did all these tweaks or whatever, because I know Jaylen been planning to play it on the Steam Deck, that it would actually run well. It does run well at like a nice 40 frames per second. If you want to get 60, you can. You just gotta change a little bit of I don't even know the name of it. But you just have to change a few settings to get to 60. I enjoy it at 40 and make it look better. So, but yeah, I've been doing like little stuff like that. I haven't really been playing anything too intensive. Hogwarts still, but I started playing Guardians of the Galaxy again because I really want to beat the story. But yeah, it's still on Game Pass. So I was like, yeah. I said, it's on Game Pass. I was like, let me try to beat this story real quick, see if I can get it knocked out in 20 hours. But we'll see. I'm like 6 hours in or something like that. So I really got to give it a shot and put the time in. But the story overall is still engaging and fun. I left off on a cliffhanger, so I should have kept playing. But yeah, it's good. But outside of that, you know me, I ain't been doing nothing. Wrangling kids, doing my day job, living my life, living my best life. Trying to keep the wife happy. You know, same old with me. Looking at TVs. I know. I'm just playing. No TVs, but definitely flash sales. And I literally don't have the capacity to buy nothing else. I feel like I'm at the point now where I got way too much stuff to like try to buy something else at this point. Like I have plenty of things to do. I need to just stop because I haven't bought like a brand new game since Hogwarts, and there's been plenty of games I want to play. But I think God of War and then Hogwarts. That's like a pretty big. It's not a big, but it is like a no. Last thing I bought was Callisto. You know, I'm tripping. It's freaking Callisto. And I sold it already, but I still did purchase it for that full price. So yeah, I mean, I've been trying, I guess, slow down on just buying games in general because I don't really care to play any of them right now. I got plenty of stuff to play, and by the time I get around to it, it's probably gonna be half off. So I got a big list, extensive list. I mean, Resident Evil 4 unfortunately gonna be on that list, but I really want to play that game, but I'm not spending $70 for it. So it looks really amazing. It actually looks better than the Dead Space remake. And I'm going to play the demo. I just can't see myself replaying a game I already played for $70. It's just tough. Even if it was one of my greatest games of all time, it's tough. So, but yeah. And what else? That's it. What you been up to, Jalen? You know, you've been playing games. Have you ever changed the heart towards games, or you just playing games, play games?
No, to be honest with you, I ain't really been up to nothing. Just got a couple trips, stuff like that I'm gonna do. But as far as like to answer your question with games, I mean, can't say I really had to change the heart. I have been trying to challenge myself because I mean, you know, I need a challenge, but when I go work out in the morning time, I have like more time in the evening to figure out what I want to do. So I just be like sitting here, like, what should I do with my time now? And this week I was actually like committed to like, I mean, I've been working out in the morning and stuff before, but this week it was actually a couple of days consecutively. So, basically I just say that I got a little bit of time in the evening. Like, what else could I do? I'm not cutting the TV on. I'll just sit on my phone to play the game or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, that probably happen again this week. I'm gonna try to see if I can occupy my time and actually make run errands after work or something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I ain't play a whole lot of games. I mean, clearly I play Gang Beast. You know?
Gang Wars.
Gang Wars. Nah, but that was like what, a week ago or something like that. That game was tweaking anyway. But anywho,
it was funny. Boy, I taught you off that play.
Working in that game, bro.
Dude, it's just the stupidest controls. You gotta hold the buttons down and you gotta do this. And every time I try to toss Josh off, that bug would be like, nope, he didn't wake back up. Like, bro, y'all gotta put these people to sleep for a little longer. They gonna let me get a challenge. He ended up going death by suicide. So that was the only reason we was able to win that one. Because it was gonna be forever.
That was taking a little bit of time, but I mean, Power Rangers, Guilty Gear, just reiterating what I said about Guilty Gear and the difficulty, not difficulty, but how easy to pick up it is compared to like Dragon Ball Fighters. But yeah, I mean, that's really about it. I mean, I played a couple games this week, but not like a whole lot. Back on Elden Ring, so yeah.
Back outside, boys. Yes, sir. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, I guess there's no difference there. It's just more so we had the time and we wanted to play something else outside of Overwatch. I think that's really what it boiled down to. And now we all got Game Pass. It's like, okay, what's on Game Pass? So
we've been had Game Pass.
We've been at Game Pass, but you refuse to play anything other than Overwatch.
No, I had stuff downloaded on Game Pass, but yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't as open. I mean, I was like, let me consider others instead of how they feel about the game. And just because I'm having a blast all over time, I mean, Overwatch don't mean everybody else is. So I'm gonna be a little more humane and empathetic and try something different. Everybody's not gonna have the same fun out of Overwatch. I'm like, oh, man, I'm playing with Ash again, and I'm back on Rialto. Man, I thought I'd never do this again, man. I'm having the time of my life. Man, let's get back on Overwatch, bro. I'm having so much fun, I can hardly take it. You know what I'm saying? Almost like I'm bipolar. Got like a flight of ideas or something like that. And then, like,
And then we're right back to the same thing. Say, yeah, ooh, this feel familiar. Let's get it.
I love it here. I love it here.
But yeah,
So much fun, I can hardly take it.
pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty much been us for the last few days and the last week or so. But yeah, let's get into some topics now. Let's move forward with what we wanted to talk about. And it's going to be a couple of the games we actually play because they're more relevant and new, and they had new updates and all that good jazz. So, first one, let's talk about that janky souls, that Wulong Fallen Dynasty. I think we all in agreement when we realized the best thing about the game. The best thing about that game is the ability to stay with your team and not have to leave them for anything. You good. You feel like you can play through the whole thing with them. That is probably the biggest factor to ever hit a Souls-like game and make me want to play it more. That's it. Literally.
Yeah, it has like actual modern co-op. It's still a menu that you can set up and all that stuff, but once you in the game with somebody, y'all can just play the game like normal. You can edit your skills, you can level up, you can change your equipment, you can change your, not your whole appearance, but like change your armor and stuff like that. While you in the same game with your friend, you beat the boss, you keep playing. You beat the stage, and you keep playing. So if we wanted to play through the whole game like that, yeah. Reload your health after a hard battle, sit at the little bonfire thing, get it all back. So if we wanted to, we can play through the whole game together, and that's what, what we want from these games, I guess. Like, I like to play Elden Ring, but I was trying to play with Deontay, and we played some of it, but that game is just so big, and it's so many steps to, like, actually co-op with somebody that it makes it difficult to, like, play through the whole game together. Yeah, so Wulong, that's like the best thing from it, and it's obviously been past time From Software to like get their online stuff together, but they obviously, I mean, I think Elden Ring is maybe a little bit harder because it's open world, but it's not like there are other open world co-op games like Far Cry and stuff, so they can figure it out. They just need to actually put that effort into it.
Yes, sir. So, if you want to play Wulong with friends, it probably has a better experience than any other Souls-like game out there. And that's just off of that simple function alone of just being able to stay with your team throughout. Think of like a Destiny, where you can just stay with your team. Like Destiny broke waves when they first did that.
Minus the loading screen.
Minus the loading screens. And when they did that, and they had you synced with your party, it felt good because you just was able to do everything in the party, and it kept you on the game longer, and it allowed you to feel like everything was just seamless. So think of that, and then think of that in the Souls-like game, what that experience would be like. Well, that's technically what Wulong is trying to do, and that single-handedly puts it above the average for me. Now, let's talk about the rest of it. So, we got flying horses. We have
Great voice acting.
Same enemies.
Great voice acting. We have some of the same types of enemies in a lot of different locales. What we got very muddy graphics. What else? We got untiming and real janky with time sequences when they're actually trying to parry and block, and sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's that responsive. Now, I feel like the parry is fine. I just feel like their animations to stop the parry, it's like they give you enough of a window, but sometimes it feel like, okay, bro, I did this, but he wasn't looking at me, or he wasn't staring right at me, so my parry didn't work and he smacked me. it just feel weird like that sometimes. Like the lock-on system isn't properly working, and when you got 3 people in the game, it's really hard to pull off a Sekiro's combat with 3 people. It's just hard. So,
and people be doing it at the same time. Like there is a couple of times we were fighting a boss and we all hit our parry thingy at the same time. So it boosts his thing up, but it's just like, I mean, it worked, right? But it just feels fake. Like he wasn't attacking you when you dodged or something and even going for you. Just in the mix that they wanted you to hit the button at the right time, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you hit the button at the right time.
Because it was 1-on-1, so with a parry bar going up and down as the fight going on, and if you taking a long time, then you punish for it because the bar is going to go down. And in this game is the exact same thing, but with 3 people, the boss is going to attack Jalen, and then I'm going to be on the other side of the room, and then it's going to turn around and jump to the other side of the room to attack me. And so that whole time that we chasing it and it's jumping between people, it's hard to like actually do the mechanic that they want you to do, which is 1-on-1 fight and like parrying the boss.
And you trying to get they spirit meter down or whatever, like whatever that more hour spirit meter, but they go hit somebody else and they get more spirit, so they meter go back down because they hit somebody else, and it's like you ain't even try to hit me. Like imagine a little big monkey thingy or a warthog just swinging around, just like, hey, I want to hit you, but since I hit you, my spirit going up a little bit. And if you talk about like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just stuff like that. So it's just kind of like it don't work as well as it should, but you know.
Yeah. And one of the things that really kind of was like, it's a deal breaker because it's a deal breaker for me because I'm just tired of playing games that mechanically aren't sound, but then they are also ugly. So I just was like, I like Wulong because sometimes you feel like you're getting like a good balance going and it feels good. And like you obviously got plenty of weapons to play with, but there's a lot of like specials and moves and all that good jazz. And they give it to you up front really fast. I just feel like it's going to, it feels like they didn't properly test everything out, especially when it comes to 3-player co-op. 2, I feel like they rushed on the graphics and everything just looks so muddy. Like if you ever felt like your character blends into a world, I couldn't say that enough in this game. It just doesn't, it feel like you're a chameleon because everything is this colored in this shaded of gray or brown, and the worlds I don't know, they don't seem as impactful as you would think. For some reason it's so unappeasing to the eye. Sometimes I'd be like, bruh, what the heck is this game?
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing that really stood out because it's just a village on fire, and it was like a desert area, and those areas are fine. Like you see them in other games, but like just standing next to rocks, all the rocks look the same, and you go down the road, it's nothing different. All the rocks look the same, and it becomes drab. And like you're saying, it's not like very saturated or anything like that, so it's nothing pops out. Like you look at a game like Horizon, it's like some similar areas like a jungle or desert. Obviously, Horizon got a bunch of money behind it, but it's also very colorful. Like you see a lot of different colors, whereas the sky is like pink and orange and all this other stuff to make it stand out. And in that game, it didn't have that luxury. So all the other stuff, along with the cutscenes being like not really well done, like the animations and like the transitions between the scenes like are obvious. I don't know. I saw a review of it not too long ago because I was looking up the reviews after we played it because I was like, I wanted to see how people actually felt about it. I saw it was mixed, but that was mostly like technical issues. But a lot of people said it feels like not prequel, but like this feels like the game they made before Neo, because Neo feels better in a lot of ways. It's like they made Wulong, and then they made Neo, and then they made Neo 2. But this is their newest game, and it feels like a step back. I guess some people were saying that this is like their B team. Like this is a new team within the studio, and the other
Oh,
team is working on something else. But I don't know. It wasn't like it has a lot of good stuff. Like the character creator is not bad. Like I was trying to make a Nobushi character from what's the game For Honor.
oh,
Um,
yeah. I'm sick of that
yeah,
setting. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm sick of the setting of
yeah.
it. But it's not that. It's not like it's not. It's that's more personal than anything. That setting is fine. It's not. It's just that I'm sick of it because I see it so much. But yeah, I think the underlying point is that if you enjoy Souls-like games and you enjoy playing with friends in those games, you might enjoy yourself with this because that, like I said, will sell me enough to try to turn it on again. Like, y'all want to go fight another boss? That's fine with me. We fought like a big old pig.
Yeah.
It was interesting enough. I didn't hate it. It's just doing those things and like being able to retry and stay in your team. Like that stuff is so important that it makes the game more worthwhile to play and finish, and will give you an easier pill to swallow to finish because you're actually seeing your friends get ganked, seeing your trying to save your friends, reviving friends, and like mechanics that will actually you'll find enjoyable in that type of game. So it hit the mark on that. I just don't feel like it hit the mark on anything else outside of introducing like a decent, okay parry system that helps speed up combat. If that's about it. But anything else on Wulong, Jalen? What you think of that game? And any did it put any hooks in you, or is it still a flyover
Like an
state?
animation.
Man, I feel like granted this need to be fact checked. I ain't spend the time to look at it. I felt like the game was pretty serious at first. And I told y'all this too, but I guess I'm just saying it for the sake of the pod. But I felt like the game was pretty serious, the enemies and all that type of stuff, like the murky atmosphere. And then when that dude had popped up laughing and challenging me and stuff, I was just looking like, man, hold on, bro. Is this just
Yeah,
Dynasty
it seemed
Warriors
like
all
a
over
pretty
again?
serious. Then it turned like anime, like after that
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, I mean, is this Dynasty Warrior All Star? Well, I mean, I guess they probably were using the same characters, but I'm just looking like, did y'all just take these assets out of this game and Dynasty Warriors and put in a game and then change like the gameplay by, all right, y'all not gonna kill 1,000 people this time, but we're gonna put these same people here. We're gonna put a story around these same characters. You got people
Mhm.
falling from 20 feet, hitting a log and stuff. Meantime, a whole dude fell off the gym rack and went to sleep. But Shorty walking around, but like, yeah, I'm gonna help y'all out this, that, and the third. Then I'm seeing the same enemies and stuff. I'm looking like, bro, instead of putting 1,000 enemies on one field, all y'all did is take these other enemies and spread them out. I'm like, this game feel the same. And then don't get me, you got battle flags and fortitude and morale and stuff. I'm looking like, bro, they just stretched out the field and made the field an open world, bro. That's all they did. I'm like, man, this ain't gonna work, bro. I'm gonna have to cut this game off because that ain't cool. I ain't
Yeah.
want to play Dynasty Warriors, bro. I thought I was playing Souls.
Yeah.
Thank you, Warriors.
I think it's just a lot of and then at the same time they got a lot of bugs on PC. I mean, it's not as bad on Xbox, but there's like a ton of issues. So it's just like, yeah, you implemented something, and you innovative because that I haven't seen it before, but you also that came along with a lot of issues. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like after some patches, hopefully it's better for PC players. But I mean, if it's something that I want to play and I don't have the time to try to work out mechanics in Elden Ring or something like that, I'm probably not gonna touch it till the DLC come out. This would be something that I'd be like, hey, just cut on real quick, fight something or whatever.
Yeah. And to be fair, I will say it's not the worst like Souls type game that I played. Like
No, it's
a lot
not.
worse game.
No.
And with the online stuff, being able to play with friends, at least it has something going for it. So
Yeah.
if you got it for cheap, $20 at GameStop or like $10, or even on Game Pass, like I'd say it'd be interesting if you like Souls games and you beat everything, you want to try something different. But like for me, I'm not tired of like Elden Ring. So I
Yeah.
will probably just prefer to go back to Elden Ring. But unless I was playing with y'all, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I'm not tired of Elden Ring per se. I'm just tired of how they introduce how they do the what's the name. But they got a fast travel system. You can go to the bonfire. You can put your thing down. You can do that area. I don't like how it doesn't
Mhm.
tell you what the area is. Like I could just say if they just had like the menu screen showing of what's available in this area. Like people that already beat
Mhm.
it at least. Like I already beat the game, bro. Just tell me what's in the area so that way we can go and check some stuff off. But they just don't do anything like that to help, navigate their systems. It's all like community based. So I don't know. It makes me it's a little annoying, but it's whatever. But you can't make that type of game and then put all the secrets in it. It's like that ain't gonna work either. So it's a way to do it, but they haven't figured it out, or at least they haven't tried to implement it yet. So once they do, I think it'll put it to the next level. But right now, Wulong is hot on your tails, Elden Ring, for all the wrong
Mhm.
reasons. But yeah, let's move on then. Let's move on. Where are we? We at the 31-minute mark. All right, let's move on to um let's go to Halo. Let's go to Halo.
Halo, Halo, Halo.
Yeah, let's go to Halo,
Yeah,
man.
so this your first time
Unfortunately,
touching it
this is yeah,
in a while.
yeah. Unfortunately Jalen wasn't able to play with us yesterday. He was out and about, doing his grown man thing. But we was playing Halo Infinite, and we were playing Forge, right? We played the new playlist, and we just played. I think it was just Forge and that. And
Arena, yeah, some
yeah,
arena,
arenas.
and then and the Forest playlist.
So as we stated before, we was gonna try and give Halo Infinite a shot again. And there were some big concerns for me um, going into it. Some of it was alleviated, like funness, new mechanics, like the whole blackout sphere. Um, Really fun mechanic, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
tactical.
the tactical, really fun mechanic. The tacticals feel a little bit more abundant and available. I'm not sure if they changed anything, but I felt like I was always having a tactical on hand and they were available on hand. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I was either using the walls, I was using the push off shield, I was using either the grappling hook, or we was using this new sphere. The sphere wasn't as like abundant unless you were playing that one mode you're playing, but the new mechanics added this form of synergy. It felt like, oh, this just makes so much sense to have something like this in this game because it's really hard to push on people when they know you there. So
Yeah.
it just gives you an extra layer of security and like strategy, which is really good for that type of game. Um, so I'm gonna go down to good. I mean, you could jump in whenever, Josh, but the good that I saw was that. The good that I also saw, and we kind of talked about it, and you kind of mentioned it, and then I kind of started paying attention. I think it's 2 or 3 maps. I'm not sure. I think it's 2 or 3 new maps. They all have like
Mm-hmm.
this. They all feel tighter and closer. So you're not really away from the action in a 4v4 game. It feels like you're always running into somebody or chasing someone down. There's like a point in that one map, and it's a pretty big map, and it has a lot of openings for death and falling. But you can like see the whole map on that top area, and they're
Yeah.
putting capture points in unique spaces, and it just felt like they thought about the game and said, how can we make this more fun? And that's what they did. So implementation was perfect in that regard to bring in new and fun things to just try, weapons wise. But staying very much so true to form on Halo.
Yeah,
Um,
because Halo, the time to kill is longer than other games, but
hmm
if the maps are too big, that slows down the game too much. Like you
yeah.
want people to be close to each other, and you can survive longer because you got shields and stuff like that. But like you need to be able to get to the action pretty quickly, and like the more you can move around, the easier it is to find weapons, the easier it is to pick
hmm
up items and everything because everything is in closer proximity, and that just works better for the game. So, I would, you know, Halo has had some bad maps, like all games, but so far, what we played, these new maps, they at least seem fun. I didn't see any like glaring issues with like, oh, this map is just too big. Why would they put this in the game? Like I would feel
hmm
like all the time with Destiny.
Yes. It felt unique enough, had like a different scheme. They all got that military grade, metals and all that stuff. It's just that industrial situation, but it just felt like it was interesting to be in these like locations, and it helped the flow of the game. I mean, a lot of people were getting used to the map. People were falling off, trying to bag out and run away, but I mean, even we fell off a few times. So it has hazards. It feels sometimes it felt like, oh, this is meant to be like a Destiny map because it had like a lot of elevation, but at the same time, we have the mantle system, and once you're elevated, it's a really high risk, high reward type situation because you can see everybody, but at the same time, they can see you. So, um, yeah, I kind of just enjoyed that aspect of it. Um, what they did with the menus, they didn't change much. Unfortunately, it's still a little convoluted. Where a button is where you get to your seasonal stuff. It should not be that way. It really should just be a a toggle on the top of your screen, like every other game in the world. But they want to be unique, so they put it on the Y. So when you press Y, you can go into your battle passes, and honestly, anytime I feel like I gotta ask somebody where to get to something, I feel like you have a bad UI. And that rings true every time I play that game. I'm like, okay, but how do I get back to this? So I gotta go all the way out of my queue, then to press this button to get back into this queue to get to the armor hall. That's dumb. So you have to figure out ways to make that UI more streamlined and useful to the player anywhere in that game. Like it should not be where because I'm queued up, I can't look at these certain things. And other games do that too, but it doesn't feel it doesn't feel as like Overwatch does it too. I'm not they do it as well. But they have like this way about once you're in your queue, you can go back and look at other stuff, and I don't know, it just doesn't translate well in that game. It feels like you're not always queued up. Like if Josh was to go off and just go into his menus, he has to make sure he queued up before he do so, or we're gonna just be sitting there because there's not like a real big indicator like over the top of your screen saying you're in this queue. You have this much time left. It's like just nothing there, and that's poor UI design to me.
Yeah,
So
it has a lot of UI issues, like the battle pass screen. Like I was trying to look through it and like look at all the stuff, but like it's some
mhm,
stuff you can't preview on the battle pass screen. Like you have to go out of the battle pass screen into the armory and then
right.
find the item in the armory to like preview it. So I can, I want to see how this helmet looks from the side and the back. But in the battle pass, it just shows you the like, portrait of the dude standing there.
Yeah. And it's like those small things that need to be fixed. And honestly, I don't think that's small. It's just it's like it deters people from actually it deters people from actually playing your game. But the biggest one to me, the biggest culprit for um lack of interest is the customization. Once they fix customization, I think we have a much better time. I don't like how I have to know so much about your system for me to understand how it works. Unless you are going to go skins only or not, I need these armor plates, these things. I need these all to coincide with each other. I need colors to make sense. I honestly don't want to ever unlock a color on a battle pass, but whatever. There is so many things that are super convoluted to the point where it feels like if I do this, it's not meaningful, or it feels like I'm being cheated because some of these things shouldn't be even unlockables. No, sorry.
Yeah, I hate.
Yeah, go ahead, but go ahead.
I like being able to customize like your like for example the shoulders, the left and
Yeah,
right shoulder. You can pick different things, but that takes up 2 slots on the battle pass, which it doesn't need to do that.
no, it does not. Um, but I take my statement back. That is not the most egregious thing. The most egregious thing is their stupid challenge system. And I don't know how I forgot about this. The challenge system where you only get 4 slots, 5 if you buy the battle pass, to slot in and work on. And you can't work on anything else but these 5. That is the
Yeah,
most
and like I think
idiotic
they
thing.
give you like 10, maybe not 10, but let's go with 10, like 10 dailies and 10 weeklies. And you want to do those, to get all your points to the battle pass for that week. But you only can progress 5 at a time. And this week they also had that extra event going on. So those event challenges are separate challenges. So for me, I had 2 battle pass challenges and 2 event challenges. But it's a list of total of 20 challenges, but I only can do 4. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna play 3 or 4 matches, then complete those 4, and then they're gonna load up another 4 for me. It's like, okay, I just been sitting here for 2 hours playing the game, and I did these challenges, but I haven't made any real progress. Versus jump over to like Overwatch, for example, they have your 12 challenges just the same as Halo, but they're all available at the same time. So if I played for 2 hours and I did really good, I completed all my challenges, and I
Mm.
feel like my time was worthwhile because I can see that progress. But Halo is literally limiting what you can do, even though these matches are not short.
And there's no reason to. There's no reason to do this. And then as we were talking and as I was going through those challenges and you told me, you said, "Hey, because you're playing on that old season, um you're not going to be able to progress your other one as you would normally would because those challenges aren't coming back." And I was like, God, that really sucks. So there is no way for us to truly catch up per season outside of just utilizing our dailies and weeklies for this battle pass when I feel like there should be some catch up mechanism that allows you to continue to do some special challenges on that, or maybe even separate those challenges from what those others are. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I feel like there has to be some way to continuously progress those seasonal passes that have already come and gone. Because yes, you're never going to let them go. You're never going to like not let people play them. Yes, people can have it earlier in the season. Maybe you give them some type of specialty for playing it during that season. Maybe you get one extra thing, but I don't know. But whatever the case may be, you need to provide the people that are trying to play catch up a feeling of progress and catching up, and not just doing
Yeah,
the same thing on on the current season. So
yeah, like old battle pass get like a 25% bonus or something like that. Because like
yeah,
the issue is like let's say, well, they seasons are long anyways. They're like 90 days. So uh, let's say it takes half that 90 days to finish the normal battle pass. Do I want
yep,
to spend the next half trying to finish last season so that I missed it? No, because I'm probably gonna play it a little bit and then stop because I've been playing, for a month and a half.
yeah,
And realistically, all that's gonna mean is I'm never really gonna finish those old battle passes, because the new stuff is there. Because like, why would I go back to play the old stuff if the new stuff is here and they both take equal amount of time and effort to get?
yeah. I feel like I think the expectation is once you finish your battle pass, you'll go back to the ones you didn't finish. But sometimes people would prefer the opposite, where they would try to catch up on the older ones because they have progress on them. And I feel like there should be some type of catch up mechanic. That's all. But there's so many of those little things make the game not fun to play. And it snowballs.
Yeah, it takes it from a really fun game because we had fun with all the matches that we did. It's just
Yes, we did.
if this is an 8 out of 10 game, over time all these UI issues and customization and progression, it knocks it down like 2 levels just because like it doesn't feel finished. And like they might improve this stuff over time, but again with like the last 2 seasons, like I liked season 1, but they didn't add any new maps or modes. And then when they finally added the new maps or modes, like there were other issues, like you couldn't select team deathmatch. You had to play the playlist and hope you get team deathmatch and stuff like that. And so like I don't have 6 months to wait for you to improve your game. I'm gonna move on and either forget about it and never come back, or maybe if I do come back, I'm gonna be expecting some big improvements, and hopefully y'all use that time wisely. So, and again, this is Microsoft. This is a first-party game, and this is Halo, one of the biggest shooter franchises ever, and y'all having issues like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, and I feel like I think what we stated are very doable. To be honest, I think they're not like overly hard to complete. Like that is the good thing about it. They're not hard to finish and fix. So if they can do that and introduce things, is good.
And they added the playlists. Like we didn't play a lot of the mode, but it's at least it's there. Like y'all could do it. It's just it takes you too long to do it. When what's the saying? Like when it comes to like good customer service, like when it's good, you don't notice it, but when it's bad, it's like the biggest issue. And all this stuff like Forge is good. It came too late, and it didn't come out with this, and it didn't come out this. So it's like you don't get any points for Forge being good because it came out with all these issues.
Or at least being surrounded by a bunch of issues. So I think they have an opportunity to shine. I think it's just going to take quite a few updates. I don't think they're egregious. I don't think they're hard. I just think they have to get on board with providing the customer an enjoyable experience. And once they get on board with that and stop trying to micromanage and compartmentalize everything and let stuff flow together, I think they'll understand better what the community truly wants and not just trying to shove down more modes. I mean, more modes are always great, but I don't think that's now what we're complaining about. We're not complaining about the gameplay and the funness of it. We're complaining about what is causing the fun to be diminished. So once they figure that out, I think we're going to have a good time. But anything on that, Jalen? I know Halo is not your favorite and never has been. But any thoughts? I mean, well, yeah, you're right.
2009.
Any thoughts on Halo Infinite before we move on?
Like 3.
Yeah, they trashed that game, bro. But no, I ain't got no thoughts on this stuff like that on it.
All right.
I missed out playing with y'all, but maybe sure I cut it back on, so I still got to download it. So, but we can always go back to Master Chief Collection. I still got that too.
Yeah. I ain't got Master Chief, but I had Halo 5 for some reason. I deleted that yesterday. So get this out of here.
Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass. All right, well, we're going to switch gears and go to our Fortnite correspondent. Josh. Tell me what's new in the Fortnite world. What they bring in and what you excited about.
Hey, y'all know I gotta update y'all when they copy mechanics. Who they mimicking this time? Got the shotting gun ready. I don't actually know the name of the season. It's like a mega or something like that. It's like cyberpunk, like anime themed season. And the season dropped maybe like 2-3 days ago. They got a bunch of new mechanics. The newest ones, well, the map didn't change that much, but they added one new area. It's like a like a cyberpunk type city area, but when you look at it,
Neon
like
cityscape.
yeah, but it's literally a copy of Fragment East from Apex. Like the buildings look the same, and then the buildings have those stairs that you run up, and then there'd be like the little area with like the little shops on Fragment East. They got the zip lines that take you up to the top, and then at the top is like little rooms that you can sit in while people try to come up the zip lines. Like it's literally a copy of Fragment East, but they threw a cyberpunk skin on it. I mean, it's fun. I like Fragment East. I think everybody know that that's the best part of the World Edge, so they copied World's Edge. What they added to it, they threw some Sonic rails in there. So if you remember from Sonic Frontiers or any other Sonic game, you jump on the rail and bring you around the world to a different part. It's like their little fast travel system. Mm-hmm. They got a bunch of Sonic rails on there. They're pretty fun. You can jump off, jump on to a different rail. You can change direction pretty easy. You can shoot while you on the thing. I think they added like a homing gun so you can chase people on the rail while it's locking onto them and shoot at them. So that's pretty fun. A lot of good movement from there. And they added like a couple other little stuff, but a lot of it isn't out yet because they're rolling it out like weekly throughout the season. Like they're gonna have the Attack on Titan character Levi, and the 3D maneuver gear is gonna be an item so you can zip line around the level and stuff like that. But that's coming out in like 2 weeks or something. The biggest, I guess, item change for me is they added like it's like a katana, but it feels like a Destiny, maybe even like Destiny 1 sword, where if y'all remember like the Dark Below is like you get to that one part with the bridge where you're supposed to do it correctly, but what we was doing, we jump up to the top and then use the sword and just keep swinging it to reach the other side. And this is the same thing, where it's like it's a katana and it has an ability where you can charge it up and swing it and it'll teleport you like 20 feet forward, but you can use it in the air so you can fly across the map with it. So I think Fortnite is, for me, I really like the movement in the game. Like it's not obviously as good as Apex, but with a lot of shooters not having fun movement or like different mechanics that let you just get around quickly, it makes it a lot more fun. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing it. Maybe if y'all hop on, we can go to Fragment, discount Fragment East.
Dog, the fact they just be egregiously stealing stuff is crazy.
Yeah, they had a Reinhardt shield last season.
Yeah, this game funny. But okay, well, I thank you, our Fortnite correspondent. I appreciate the update, and I mean, at least the cityscape seems fun, and I turn it on just for that. I don't think I deleted the Fortnite, so I might definitely hop on that and just play around in that for a little bit. But yeah, I'm glad that they always doing something, and like I said, this is not a normal. This is the new normal cycle for game content, like updates and big updates. But Fortnite kind of does it the best, regardless of what I may think of the game. They do it the best. So I'm glad they got some new stuff coming, and I'm glad they always keep the community entertained for sure. Okay, well, let's move on to Guilty Gear. I know that was one that we played together, and us being not super competitive when it comes to those games, but it was fun enough to
y'all not competitive.
Not super. I don't think I'm super competitive when it comes to those games. I just like understanding the mechanics, and I don't like when stuff doesn't work the way I want it to work, and then I sit there and I'm like trying to figure out why is it not working the way I want to. So I'll go back and play it. But I'm not competitive to the sense where I'm like, no, I'll get on, I gotta beat you or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. So that's... I mean,
yeah, we not toxic, but I think we are all competitive people. That's why we liked playing like Destiny and stuff.
Yeah, agreed. I like
Um,
my competition to be more us versus them, not me versus you. That's kind of how I
yeah,
prefer the competition to go. Because I am in a sense toxic in a way, and I feel like when I get in that mode, I don't really be caring. I just be like, oh, I'm about to blow up. I'm like, I don't like this
nigga
type
be
of
cheating
person.
like he be in Mortal Kombat.
I like, bro, what's going on? But yeah, nah. But we played Guilty Gear, Strive, like, and um, yeah. I guess it was Guilty Gear, and I made a video about this and everything. But Guilty Gear Strive has a lot of great things about it, like the combo ability to like search combos and practice them. That is like one of the coolest things I ever seen. I never seen that before. Like actually, somebody can create a combo out there in the world, upload it, and say you can try to do this combo. Like there's plenty of
Yeah,
combos they put in the game that that they want you to say, oh, this is a great combo. But the ones that the really good ones is the ones that you find online and from YouTubers, and they be like, just try this combo. The fact that they embed it in the game, it's really freaking cool. And I can search someone's combo system, like combo list, and like work on
yeah,
it. I think that is super amazing, and I think every fighting game should have that, especially if they want to be taken serious. Um, and then there is the whole tacked on story mode where you don't really have any combat; you're just watching the world storyline, and it's like I was like, this is
Like,
really not the greatest. I
yeah.
would
That's why
rather have.
people buy it.
I, I mean, really, is that really why people buy it?
Well, I mean, obviously the gameplay, but like Guilty Gear is like an anime franchise type thing, and people buy it
Uh,
for like the characters. I mean, there are like 20 other games, and people want to see the story, but it's like just a super crazy anime story. So, I mean, I get it. The story mode, like, I didn't hear anything like fun about it, about like gameplay wise. It's just want to see these characters. But I personally not interested in characters, so I'm not gonna play the story.
yeah, it's literally a movie. It's not even like a playing anything. You're just watching it. So,
Yeah.
and they like tell you, do you want a couple breaks in between of like chapters? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Why do I need a break? It's because you literally are just watching a movie. So, yeah, I enjoyed. I didn't enjoy that part, but I guess I'm getting more information. That is how that works. Fine. I won't interact with it unless I find that story to be fun and amazing or whatever. Now, what will might get me to watch that story is just the characters in themselves. They all have very unique styles, unique types, and they all seem so different from one another that they don't feel like you could copy and paste these characters. They feel like they have a lot of unique mechanics, and it's like, and I'm pretty sure it's embodied in their storyline. Um, but um, but yeah, so those things, the whole, this is a fighter's fighter. Like this is truly a pure fighter to me. Like I have never seen a game so pure, as in like they do build mechanics to stop people from doing certain things. I never thought that that would happen. Like corner blocking or corner harassment. Like they don't want you to be able to do that, so they give you all these abilities, these counters, these um interesting pushback mechanic where you can't just be on someone the entire time. Obviously people can be good at it, but these are like things that are trying to mitigate problems that most fighters have. Yeah, and I feel like once I played it, I played it more because I did play it alone, and I did play a lot of the arcade, and I did play a lot of the survival. Trying to get better with my man's with the big sword and the death mechanic he has on him. But those are those types of games where you can visualize the mechanics, and then once you start to understand a lot of it, and then like playing with a new character is like starting the game all over from scratch. Those are great games to own and great games for fighters. That is what you want a fighter to feel like. You don't want a fighter to feel like, okay, I understand one character, so I probably understand about 16 of them. That is not the case in this game. You understand one character, you understand that one character. Like everybody else has a unique thing about them. And everybody has a punch, kick, what's that type of situation. But their timing and their windows are different. Their startup their startup combos are different. Their speed in which their movement, their abilities, their the transitions, like it's just like so much difference to each character that it feels like unique every time you play with somebody else. And that's a great fighter. So me myself, I would have paid that money if I knew Guilty Gear had that level of detail in their game at the beginning. I'm very new to this franchise. I've never played a Guilty Gear game. So the first thing I was introduced to was their mechanics and how they treat fighters. And I was in Fighter Z, Dragon Ball, and we really enjoyed that. But this takes it to another level of like, this is a fighter. Like, I don't know. When I play this, I feel like Fighter Z fails in comparison because it's not, it's like they retained a lot of and like dumbing it down for you. This doesn't dumb it down, but it doesn't make it feel like it's unapproachable either. It's like a very hard balance to make. So I say Guilty Gear Strive was a great pickup for Game Pass, especially if you never played it. It's on Game Pass, and I praise it for those mechanics, and I praise it for those ability to kind of fall in between, and truly show people what a real fighter is all about, and not feel overwhelming at the same time. Because there's like literally characters I play with if I'm trying to determine whether or not the person, like, there's matchups in the game where they like worked well and fight well towards each other, but obviously you can use everyone. But slowing like, the slowing down and like the surgical precision type characters, and then there's those characters that can get away with, jumping in, attacking, and backing off, and everything. I don't know. I really loved it. So I will play that game just offhand on leisure. I was streaming it to my deck when I was playing it on cloud gaming because it's on Game Pass. You could do Xbox Cloud Gaming. You don't even need an Xbox to play it. So I don't think people even realize that you can buy Game Pass and just use the cloud gaming and still have a good time. And it's not that expensive. But it's ultimate. But, you don't need an Xbox per se. You just need the cloud gaming if you are comfortable playing games online and like actually streaming it. If not, then you need obviously the console. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. So.
Yeah, I liked it. I usually don't play outside of Street Fighter. I played a couple of those, but I prefer the team-based games like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah,
and the Power Rangers game where it's like 2v2 or 3v3. And that's where Fighters Z came in, and it was really good because I like Dragon Ball Z, but mechanically they made a really fun 3v3 game that was easy to like understand, and no matter your skill level. Because like for me, I like fighting games, but I really struggle with the inputs. Like it's a lot. It's already a lot going into a fighting game where it's like it's pretty stressful. You're thinking about like the matchup, and you're trying to read your opponent, you're trying to remember your combos, you're trying to remember when to use them and what gives priority over what and all this stuff. And it's like very intense and like stressful, which makes it fun because you can get competitive in that. But trying to do the spin the left stick and do the inputs at the same time while doing all that is very difficult. Whereas like Fighter Z found a nice way to like make it you don't have to know every combo, but the ones that you do correctly, you get are stronger or they're better or more efficient. That way, it made it a lot more easier to like keep up with people who are better than me or something like that. Whereas Guilty Gear, for the life of me, I was trying the entire time to like do some specific combos, and I literally could not do them. I don't know if I would have to like really practice on a controller or just play it on the fighting stick. But it was a very technical fighter, but it was still very fun. Like the inputs are not complicated, really. Like there are only like 2 button presses, but it's just trying to do them with the speed of this game and like how much damage people do. It was very difficult. But it was fun. And graphically, like it looks very good, and with all the extra polish as far as like a fighting game with like the combo and the thing that you're saying, or like you can jump in a training match while you waiting to queue up with the fight with somebody. Like I like that type of stuff because there are a lot of games that miss that, and that makes it worse. I mean, I still don't like their online lobbies with all the menus and crap like that. But at least they give you a lot of the core stuff to really teach you how to play the game if you want to put the time in it. I was looking at it. It's still too expensive for me, and plus you got to buy all the DLC characters. But I'll be looking at this game like at some point in the future, like if they have like a bundle or something, I might try it. Because I don't think we don't get another like fighters for a while. I mean, between this, for me, it would be this, Street Fighter, and like a new Fighter Z game. I don't know if they're gonna do that because it's Bandai Namco. They focus in on like other stuff, and maybe Street Fighter, but still, I don't know. Because I don't know how much I'm gonna play it by myself. But at least Guilty Gear, I played it. It's fun. If I can get it at a decent discount, then I'll be interested.
Yeah. Agreed. No, I think that's truly like and I don't know if Jalen got an opinion on it, but it did kind of ruin Fighter for me. I was like, yeah, this is a much better game, but I understand what
it for me.
It just feeds a different crowd, and I'm in this crowd. That's the crowd I'm in. Like, to be honest, it didn't. I say it ruined it for me because of the crowd of like the type of player that I am. I like to be more technical, and I don't like the because it's like I always understood that the game, the Fighter Z was fun, but I knew that there was limitations to the to skill, I suppose. I like my level of skill and the amount of time I have to put in to gain that type of readability on that game, because everybody had the same kind of move set and it just looked different animated. That kind of ruined it for me, because then I had to hone in on determining what my team was, even though honestly I didn't feel like the teams mattered. The teams mattered in a sense, but they weren't groundbreaking. Like, if you was like, oh shoot, he got this person, it's gonna tear me up. It's gonna tear me. Like, only one that I felt was like really unique, and that whole time we were playing was Gohan, because he was just so fast. But everybody else just felt so sreally
Yeah, I feel like that game is very meta dependent. Like I don't really watch tournaments, but like when we was playing, who the best characters? Gohan, Vegeta, and some sort of Goku. Or if you want to switch one of them out, you're gonna have Gohan, Trunks, and Hit. Or you're gonna have Gohan. It's gonna keep following the same archetype for the meta, because all the characters have the same abilities in some sense. You're gonna gravitate towards the characters who are on the technical level, have an advantage
over others
against everybody.
and that is not And that's not
whereas
the
Guilty
case
Gear,
for
I don't
Guilty
know,
Gear.
but
Yeah.
seeing Guilty Gear, like everybody is literally so different. Like some characters might be better than others, but for you, for example, let's say I was playing the sword girl. She got two big giant swords. Maybe she is like a higher tier technical character than the samurai dude. But if you're just really good with the samurai dude, he can kill you in 2 hits, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, I that way you don't have to be stuck in the meta. You can play the character that you like, and as long as you get good at that, you can overcome it. Whereas Dragon Ball Z, I feel like maybe if you're really, really, really good, you can play against the meta. But like, if you want to be good at the game, you should be playing Gohan in your team and somebody else who's meta.
Yeah, and they provide your teleports and all that stuff to get out of corners, to get behind people, to match it, to change up the matchup. And I think Fighter Z has a market, and I'm not saying, I just know what I enjoy more. I enjoy the Tekken 7s. I enjoy the Guilty Gears. I enjoy the Street Fighters, and I guess my level of skill requires me to read the team a lot better than I normally could in a fighters, because you have multiple people coming in and out. They all kind of play the same, but they all have different types of, homing missiles. It's just so much to kind of be aware of in that game, that everything to be aware of was like provided to every character. So it was never a time where, oh, this character is out, I don't have to worry about this, that, and that. It's never like that. It's like you always got to worry about this, that, and that, because everybody has the same type of moveset. So regardless, you're gonna have to worry about a long projectile. You're probably gonna have to worry about a overhead that is very powerful. You got to worry about a teleportation, and you're gonna have to worry about, and it never stopped being that. So in order to hone your skills, you just had to learn to play the meta well, and like how you, and then it all became down to, it came a little too samey for me. So everything was just feeling like, don't matter who you fight, this is the same thing. Somebody might try to teleport behind you, so you got to block front, then block back, and then might try to jump up and like try not to get hit by the overhead, because that is like their combo system. Like that is literally everybody's move. It's like front hit, back hit, overhead. And then you got to just keep getting good at that. And it wasn't enjoyable for me, because it was like the constant understanding that there was like so many different little, the things that they tried to make unique was their mix-ups. And that is just a boring game to play to me. I don't know. That just feel boring to me, but it could be enjoyable to others. I don't know. What's your, I don't know, Jalen, what do you think about the comparison of Dragon Ball Z Fighters to Guilty Gear Strive?
I think that Guilty Gear game is a lot more technical compared to Dragon Ball Z. I think one thing that I had mentioned when we was playing is like the game a lot more stiff than Dragon Ball Z.
It is very
granted,
much
Dragon Ball Z, you can, boost and all that type of stuff with the R2 button or whatever. But even aside from that, I still feel like the game a lot more stiff, and I ain't gonna say the game not as responsive and stuff like that, because I'm not used to them type of games, and I'm sure their system is praised, like Arc or whatever, and they make good fighting games and stuff like that. I just personally didn't feel like it was as responsive as I'd have liked it to be in some regard, especially when it comes to like the movement. I don't know if they got like some type of like buffer system in there. I know some fighting games, you put the inputs in already. The game like, all right, you put this, and that in. Like, we're going to do that. You just have to wait or whatever. And it's kind of, it's that little, I don't want to say a grace period, but y'all know what the buffer system is. But anyway, I just didn't feel like it was as responsive, and I couldn't move as easily as I would have liked to. And I ain't even gonna lie to you, like, I don't know if it's just the Xbox controller, the way I'm playing the game, like my thumb was hurting after playing the game, and I was just like, I don't feel like playing this no more. Like, because I was using a directional pad on the Xbox controller versus, and they not, I don't got the Elite controller and stuff like that, so my stuff like regular, so it was kind of hurt my thumb a little bit when I was playing it. And that's probably me trying to mash around and do all that type of stuff, but it was my left thumb or whatever. But anywho, I mean, I feel like the game straight, like you said, it pales in comparison. I mean, Dragon Ball Z pales in comparison to that game because of how technical it is. And I feel like, that need to be echoed how each character kind of feel a little bit samey, like they got a core.
Yeah.
But that game, the core of the character is not really there like they are. All they core is deviate and stuff like that. So, yeah, the game's straight. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like fighting games and the more stiff fighters anyway. But so Dragon Ball Z was a little bit of a learning curve to me. But I mean, it's Dragon Ball Z. Y'all know I love Dragon Ball Z. But it was still that game got a little annoying too sometimes because I remember my finger hurt a little bit after playing that to my thumb. But I mean, the game's straight. I mean, I play it and stuff like that. I'm competitive, but I'm not competitive enough to where I'm gonna go look at people combos and stuff like that. I'm gonna try something. If it works, I'm gonna use it for a little bit, but I'm not gonna cut that game on and actually see how to do certain things. So if y'all see me lagging behind and not know how to play it still, like that's just gonna be what it is. Like, because like I said, I'm not super interested in like playing it and stuff like that. But I mean, I am like playing with y'all and stuff like that. But again, I'm not gonna take time to go figure it out and stuff like that. But I think the game cool, and I could understand its uniqueness and why that or something like King of Fighters been around and stuff like that for a long time. So it's just but no, it's
Yeah. No, I think I think you hit it right on the head there. I understand exactly what that level of interest is and everything. So no, I get you. But yeah, if you are interested in like a good tactical shooter, tactical fighter, Jesus Christ, shooters, they're just everywhere. But if you're interested in that, I think that is a really good pickup, and it's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you can play it, and I think it's a really cool one. So enjoy. What else we got? We got a bunch of little stuff. We got the Mario Day. They had them boots on display. I thought they was gonna do like the mischief thing with the big red boots. I was like, I'm gonna for sure see Jalen in them things. He obviously got it right as his favorite Smash character. Don't do me. Yeah, them boys tough, ain't they, Jalen? But I thought they were gonna do like the mischief big red boots and like let people actually buy them, but no, it's like one boot. There's only one pair of shoes, and it's on display, I think, and somewhere I forget where they displayed it, but yeah, they had some miscellaneous stuff, boots, and like they had sales and all that stuff from March 10th because that's MART. MAR10 Mario, obviously Mario Day. I don't think they went down to 50% off, did they, Josh? I don't think so. So, anyways, I think it was still $39.99. And correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, $39.99. Most of the games, anyway. So, no, thank you. I saw Bayonetta 3 for $34.99. I still said no. I'm done, bro. I don't know, man. I'm done with them until they make a better system. I'm gonna have to boycott. I'm gonna have to boycott that for real. Like until they make a better system, I'll pick it up when they make a better system, and it better be backwards compatible. But yeah. What else? We had E3. It's basically canceled. I think only it's like a few people going. I feel bad for them because it was a big part of my childhood, and a lot of I used to be like, oh yeah, I'm finna chill at home and watch E3. Like I take time off for that sometimes. Now it doesn't matter because that E3 time span, I always still pick the day that Microsoft is going to do it because it usually revolves around that day. But it just sucks that it's not like a part of E3 because if I wanted to buy a ticket, and that was one of my big things I wanted to do with, even with y'all, let's go to an E3 Expo and just hang out. But yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Yeah, but I mean, y'all gotta bring extra deodorant because because some of them y'all might be heading out some deodorant too. But
hey, I'm gonna take the deodorant from my arms and give it to them. Hey man, hold on, bro. Like, hey, you need this 10 times more than me, bro. So let me get some of the deodorant in my arm and give you some, bro.
I don't know what it is, but they bring out the basement dwellers. I be like, why y'all so musty? I be seeing that all the time. People be talking about, oh, they did a meetup, but we had musty people there. I'm like, bro, it's not that hard to just put on some deodorant and make sure you wash up before you go talk to somebody and brush shoulders with people. But I guess people just don't care. But yeah, they don't discriminate. It's all people, men, women. But yeah, it's just like, bruh. But yeah, I wanted to go to that. I wanted to see what that was all about, and I did want to enjoy it with some friends. But it is what it is. Hopefully, they come back to it. I really only need Microsoft to be there, but I would love to have Sony and Nintendo. But if Microsoft there, I'm fine with just going to that expo. But yeah, I would prefer all the big three and all the excitement behind it to kind of go down there for a day and leave. So I wouldn't want to stay the whole week. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. I think that if failing like this is a test of the time. It's like other times anyway. Like everybody's not going to a big event anymore to present stuff. I mean, there's a lot of eyeballs around this event, but it's not to the extent that it used to be, where you had to break a game and do all this stuff and make sure people were there. The eyeballs were on it because of like the advertisement. Like anybody can get to their audience anytime now, and that kind of defeats the purpose of spending a lot of money to do the expo. They had to do something like the Oscars or the Grammys for it to be worthwhile, where you have like all these people pouring into it, previous winners, previous developers. Like this had to be backed by the actual gaming industry for it to continue to succeed. And I think a lot of this was off good faith and handshakes, man. So, and they didn't change fast enough to like, we know we don't need you, right? You still charging me for stage presence? I don't think they changed fast enough, dog. So, yeah, they kind of high and dry, unfortunately. But, I mean, it was fun while it lasted.
Keighley took over.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley with his Game Awards, which is interesting. He just did it out of nowhere. I don't even know what he did before that. I don't know if he was just a big gamer or if he like had some type of.
I think he was in business, like something to do with like organizing E3 and stuff like that. I don't know if he was specifically affiliated with them, but he was a part of like organization stuff.
Gotcha. But yeah,
so he just saw opportunity and right place, right time.
Yeah. Square Enix admitted that they're Forspoken was bad and didn't hit the sale marks. Obviously, I mean, what did you expect a poor game to do well? Like that ain't happened since there was no game I don't even remember a game that was poor that did well. That was a poor. I mean, Cyberpunk, but I mean, at least they fixed it. But dang, Cyberpunk made history, dog. That's like one of the best games ever made. It's part of history now. That's like legitimate. Like there's nothing else out there that tops the epic fail of that game. But yeah, Forspoken is a very much a good runner up for that. Overall, the game was fine, but we're all tired of playing open world dead games. I feel like it's much cheaper to build a generating open world than actually create levels and build some uniqueness in the world. Like, I honestly now feel like the bigger the game, the cheaper the budget, and the smaller the game. It's like these engines are creating garbage and they're just putting it out versus actually having some unique style behind it. So I don't know. I feel like God of War obviously cost a lot more to make, simply in it was not as big of an open world, but it had so much character in these open spaces that you could not, you couldn't dismiss it. Like, Forspoken, I can literally dismiss 75% of the world and you probably would still be fine. So yeah, it's just tough. But forget Square Enix. They only care about they only care about like 3 franchises: Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and I'm trying to remember the last one. Yeah. I mean, I can't even think of those big 3. What's the big 3 in Square Enix, fellas? I mean, it's Final Fantasy. I know y'all Square Enix boys know. Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, and there's one more.
Babylon's Fall?
Nah, not Babylon's Fall. I mean, it was Tomb Raider, but not no more. But it was something else, right? Why can't I remember now? Okay, whatever. It don't matter.
Recently? Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was Tomb Raider, but they stopped caring about Tomb Raider a while ago.
Yeah, they sold that off.
Yeah.
They just like ain't no money in these one and dones. We need some Babylon Falls. We need some microtransactions. We need it all, baby. So the Square Enix team is still looking at NFTs. I have no idea why, but the president's still ready to throw that money down. SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, stole a lot of people money. That was interesting as well. I've never seen a bank failure this big before, and it's not interesting to see. It's sad to see, but I've been following it, not heavily, but it is what it is. On that, the FDIC insurance is a must, but they only cover so much, $250,000 to be exact. So anything above that, the government has said they're not bailing them out. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to hold y'all. Anything else y'all want to get off y'all chest before we get up out of here? Anything? Take that as a no.
No, we played a lot of games. Hopefully we got some time this week to play some more. But no, yeah, feel like this is a good podcast. About you, Jalen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, it's true, man. Yeah, I ain't really got nothing to get off my chest, stuff like that. So, nothing really to speak on.
All right. Well, we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate you guys listening as always. I want to thank you for joining, and we will see you all in the next episode. Peace.